Welcome to Top 10 Archive. In this installment, we go behind bars to visit some people of significance. This list of 10 inmates have done things so heinous that the courts couldn't put them away for long enough. Despite some countries and states having a limit on how long an individual can serve in prison, many of these sentences were given to remove the ability of parole. Destined to rot in prison, these are the criminals with the longest prison sentences ever recorded. Number 10. Daryl Wayne Delp. To guarantee yourself an extensive prison stay, your first order of business would be to target children. In the case of Daryl Wayne Delp, though prison may not have been his end goal, a list of 60 child sex offenses would be his downfall. In 2014, Daryl Delp was convicted of 50 counts of producing child pornography and 10 counts of aggravated sexual battery against a child, with over 5,000 pornographic images of young girls being recovered. Despite his defense attorney arguing that no prior criminal record should produce a reduced sentence, Delp was given 755 years in prison. Number 9. Bobby Joe Long. Bobby Joe Long currently resides at the Union Correctional Institution, serving out 28 life sentences, a 5-year sentence, 4 99-year sentences, and 1 death sentence after being convicted of the murder of 10 women across the Tampa Bay area in 1984. Over the course of 8 months, Long abducted 10 women, using them for his own sexual pleasures before brutally murdering them via strangulation, bludgeoning, or cutting their throats. For unknown reasons, Long released his 11th victim, Lisa McVeigh, an act that eventually led to his arrest and lengthy conviction. Reasoning behind Long's murder spree are unclear, though speculation points to a dysfunctional relationship with his mother and the presence of an extra X chromosome. Number 8. Martin Bryant. Port Arthur, Tasmania, Australia, April 28, 1996. The former prison colony was a popular tourist attraction, providing a glimpse into the history of Australia's Tasman Peninsula. On this day, it became the site of a bloody massacre. Martin Bryant opened fire in the tourist spot, murdering 35 and injuring 23. Amongst his victims were the owners of a bed and breakfast that Bryant's father sought to purchase, as well as a woman that had been walking with her 2 children and patrons of the Broad Arrow Cafe. Bryant was captured while trying to flee the chaos of a fire he started in the Seascape Bed and Breakfast and was sentenced to 35 life sentences and 1,035 years without parole. Despite 2 suicide attempts in 2007, Bryant is still alive and serving the rest of his years in the psychiatric wing of Risdon Prison. Number 7. Dudley Wayne Kaiser. In Alabama, USA, apparently the death sentence is a showing of mercy. In the 1981 case of Dudley Wayne Kaiser, a man convicted of murdering his wife, his mother-in-law, and another man, the death sentence was originally granted. Afterwards, though, the prosecution sought to overturn the sentence, wishing something far more punishing than death. The prosecutor told the jury that he didn't need mercy, as he showed none to those he killed. The jury agreed, and Kaiser's sentence was changed to 2 life sentences plus 10,000 years. Kaiser, like all others on this list, would be long dead before he would even be eligible for parole. Number 6. Alan Wayne McLaurin. In 1988, Alan Wayne McLaurin was arrested for burglary. Almost 5 years later, McLaurin's rap sheet would include far more sinister crimes, including sodomy, kidnapping, assault with a dangerous weapon, larceny, and rape. After a string of 13 acts of rape and sodomy, McLaurin and accomplice Darren Anderson were arrested and sentenced for a total of 32,500 years in prison. McLaurin took the blunt of this sentence with 21,250 years behind bars. Number 5. Charles Scott Robinson. If there's a universal rule that even the roughest and toughest of prison inmates follow, it's that kids are completely off limits. That didn't apply to Charles Scott Robinson, who, in 1994, was convicted of raping 6 children. The judge sought to put Robinson away for good, and to do that, he recommended a sentence of 30,000 years in prison, 5,000 years for each child he raped. Number 4. Emilio Suarez Trejos. March 11, 2004, the Madrid train bombings. 191 people were killed, 1,800 wounded, and clearly the city wanted someone to answer for the terrorist act. 7 individuals were picked up in relation to the March 11th attack, amongst them Emilio Suarez Trajoras. Though not the one to have set the bomb, Emilio supplied the terrorist act with the dynamite needed for the bombings, an exchange he made simply to support his drug habit. This exchange of goods landed Emilio 34,715 years in prison. Number 3. Jamal Zugum. The March 11, 2004 attack on Cercanías was a complex job utilizing talents and resources of several individuals. Emilio Trajoras may have supplied the explosives, but there was still a need for a catalyst to set them off. Meet Jamal Zugum, a shop owner in Madrid. Zugum supplied the phone cards used in the mobile phones that would set off the explosives. Zugum's contribution to this heinous act landed him 42,922 years in prison, equating to about 224 years for every life lost in the blast. Number 2. Otman El-Ganawi. A third party involved in the 2004 Madrid train bombing, Otman El-Ganawi, would receive the worst of the 3 sentences. El-Ganawi was suspected of helping deliver the charges, which required document forgery. According to Otman's early testimonies, he had never consciously contributed to the terrorist action. The attacks came 3 days before the Spanish national elections, pulled off mostly by Moroccan immigrants that sought to force Spain to pull its military forces out of Iraq. Number 1. Chimoy Tiaso. How do you wind up with over 100,000 years in prison? You can start off by defrauding over 16,000 people. This Thailand resident was sentenced in 1989 after apprehended in connection to a pyramid scheme that netted $204 million. Tiaso founded the investment firm May Chamoy Funds, which she used as a front for her Ponzi scheme. Along with 7 accomplices, Tiaso sought to take a page from Charles Ponzi's book and trick investors, but she didn't quite expect to be caught. Nor did she expect a prison sentence 8,000 times Ponzi's 17 years in prison. Like these top 10 videos? Subscribe by clicking the annotation here and give our video a like, and share the link for this video with all your friends on your favorite social media sites. Have an idea for a future top 10? Leave a comment in the section below.